Ladies and gentlemen, today we gather to reflect on a prize that stands as one of the highest honors in our world, the Nobel Peace Prize. It is not just an award, it is a symbol of hope, courage, and the relentless pursuit of a better world. It represents the aspirations of humanity to live in harmony, to resolve conflicts without bloodshed, and to build bridges where walls once stood. Peace is a concept that transcends the mere absence of war or conflict. It is not simply the quiet that follows the clamor of battle, nor is it just the cessation of hostilities. True peace is far deeper, more profound, and more enduring. It is a state of being that touches the very core of our humanity, a reflection of our highest ideals and our deepest longings. At its heart, peace is the presence of justice, where fairness and equity prevail in the interactions between individuals, communities, and nations. It is the assurance that each person, regardless of their background, race, or creed, is treated with dignity and respect. In a world at peace, there is no room for oppression, discrimination, or exploitation. Instead, there is a shared commitment to the well-being of all, ensuring that every individual has the opportunity to live a life of purpose and fulfillment. Peace is also rooted in compassion, the ability to see and respond to the suffering of others with empathy and kindness. It calls us to reach out to those in need, to heal the wounds of division, and to build bridges of understanding between people of different cultures, beliefs, and perspectives. In a peaceful society, compassion is not a sign of weakness, but a source of strength, uniting us in our common humanity. Furthermore, peace is the result of understanding, and understanding that goes beyond mere tolerance. It is the deep recognition that, despite our differences, we are all connected by our shared hopes, dreams, and struggles. Understanding fosters dialogue and cooperation, allowing us to resolve conflicts not through force or coercion, but through mutual respect and a willingness to listen. When we truly understand one another, we can work together to create solutions that benefit all, rather than just a few. Peace, then, is not something that can be imposed from the outside. It must be cultivated from within. It begins in the hearts of individuals who choose to live by principles of justice, compassion, and understanding. These individuals become the building blocks of peaceful communities, and in turn, these communities form the foundation of peaceful nations. It is a process that requires continuous effort, patience, and a steadfast commitment to the values that sustain it. In essence, peace is the embodiment of harmony within ourselves, with each other, and with the world around us. It is the fulfillment of our deepest aspirations for a life that is not only free from fear and conflict, but rich in meaning, connection, and love. And while the path to peace may be long and arduous, it is a journey worth undertaking, for in peace we find the true essence of what it means to be human. Sacrifice is an integral component of the pursuit of peace, a cornerstone upon which lasting harmony is built. It is not merely a word or an abstract concept, but a profound and often difficult choice that individuals and communities must make to achieve a greater good. The role of sacrifice in the quest for peace cannot be overstated. It is the bridge that connects our ideals with reality, transforming lofty aspirations into tangible outcomes. At its core, sacrifice in the context of peace involves the willingness to let go of personal desires, ambitions, or comforts for the sake of the greater good. It requires individuals to place the well-being of others above their own, to consider the collective needs of society over their own immediate interests. This kind of sacrifice is often challenging, as it demands a level of selflessness that runs counter to the instincts of self-preservation and personal gain. Historically, the most enduring examples of peace have been achieved through great sacrifices. Leaders who have championed peace often endured personal hardships, faced persecution, and even risked their lives to bring about change. Their sacrifices were not in vain. They laid the groundwork for future generations to live in a world that values peace over conflict, unity over division. These individuals understood that the path to peace is not an easy one, and they were willing to pay the price for the greater good. Sacrifice in the pursuit of peace also extends to communities and nations. It requires the relinquishment of long-held grievances, the willingness to forgive past wrongs, and the courage to move forward without seeking retribution. This kind of sacrifice is perhaps the most difficult of all, as it involves overcoming deep-seated animosities and letting go of the desire for revenge. Yet it is essential for breaking the cycles of violence that perpetuate conflict and for paving the way for reconciliation and healing. On a broader scale, sacrifice in the name of peace may also mean the allocation of resources toward initiatives that promote understanding, education, and development rather than towards the machinery of war. It calls for investments in diplomacy, dialogue, and humanitarian aid, often at the expense of immediate economic or political gains. This kind of sacrifice reflects a long-term vision for a peaceful world, one that recognizes that true security is not found in weapons or walls, but in the strength of our shared humanity. Moreover, the role of sacrifice in peace-building often requires a redefinition of success and progress. It challenges the notion that power and wealth are the ultimate goals, suggesting instead that the true measure of a society's greatness lies in its ability to nurture peace and justice. This shift in perspective necessitates sacrifices on a societal level, where policies and practices are aligned with the principles of equity, fairness, and compassion, even when doing so may seem counterintuitive or unpopular. Sacrifice also plays a crucial role in personal transformation, which is a fundamental aspect of creating a peaceful world. It involves the inner work of letting go of ego, pride, and the need to be right, and instead embracing humility, patience, and a willingness to listen. This personal sacrifice is often the first step toward building the kind of character that can contribute to peace on a larger scale. It is a recognition that peace begins within and radiates outward, and that the sacrifices we make on a personal level are essential for the collective good. In the end, the role of sacrifice in the pursuit of peace is a testament to the fact that peace is not a passive state, but an active, ongoing process. It is something that must be nurtured, protected, and often fought for not with weapons, but with the courage to make sacrifices for the sake of something greater than ourselves. It is through these sacrifices that we lay the foundation for a world where peace can truly flourish. Nonviolence is one of the most potent forces in the world, a principle that has shaped the course of history and transformed societies. It is a power that transcends physical might, rooted not in the ability to dominate or destroy, but in the strength to resist oppression and injustice through peaceful means. The power of nonviolence lies in its moral authority, its capacity to win hearts and minds, and its ability to create lasting change without perpetuating the cycles of hatred and violence that plague humanity. At its essence, nonviolence is an active form of resistance, a deliberate choice to confront injustice not with weapons or aggression, but with courage, dignity, and steadfast resolve. It is a refusal to be complicit in the violence of the oppressor and a commitment to uphold the principles of justice and human dignity, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. Nonviolence does not mean passivity or weakness, rather, it requires a profound inner strength and a deep conviction in the righteousness of the cause being pursued. The power of nonviolence is most evident in its ability to expose the moral failings of those who use violence to achieve their ends. When confronted with a nonviolent resistance, the oppressor is forced to reveal the true nature of their actions, often resulting in a shift in public perception. The stark contrast between the peaceful actions of the oppressed and the violent responses of the oppressor can galvanize support, both locally and internationally, for the cause of justice. This moral clarity is a powerful tool in the struggle for change, as it highlights the inherent injustice of the oppressor's actions and rallies others to the side of the nonviolent movement. Nonviolence also has the power to unify. It brings together people from different backgrounds, beliefs, and walks of life under a common banner of peace and justice. In a nonviolent movement, the focus is not on destroying the enemy, but on building a coalition of individuals who are committed to creating a more just and equitable society. This inclusive approach can transcend divisions of race, religion, and nationality, fostering a sense of shared purpose and collective responsibility. The power of nonviolence lies in its ability to forge solidarity among diverse groups, turning potential adversaries into allies. Moreover, nonviolence empowers the oppressed by giving them a means of resistance that does not rely on the same tools of domination used by their oppressors. It is a way to assert one's humanity and demand justice without resorting to the dehumanizing tactics of violence. Through nonviolent resistance, individuals and communities can reclaim their agency, demonstrating that they will not be defined by the violence inflicted upon them, but by their unwavering commitment to justice and peace. This empowerment is a key aspect of the power of nonviolence, as it enables the oppressed to take control of their own destiny and challenge the status quo in a way that is both effective and morally justifiable. The power of nonviolence is also evident in its ability to break the cycle of retaliation and revenge that so often fuels conflict. Violence begets violence, creating a spiral of retribution that can continue for generations. Nonviolence, on the other hand, seeks to disrupt this cycle by refusing to respond to violence with more violence. It offers a way out of the destructive patterns of conflict, providing a path toward reconciliation and healing. By choosing nonviolence, individuals and movements signal their commitment to a future where peace and justice prevail, rather than one mired in endless cycles of violence and retribution. Another aspect of the power of nonviolence is its ability to inspire and sustain hope. In the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, nonviolent movements have the power to ignite the imagination and stir the conscience. They remind us that change is possible, that even the most entrenched systems of oppression can be challenged and overturned through the collective efforts of ordinary people committed to extraordinary principles. This hope is not naive or unfounded. It is rooted in the historical reality that nonviolent movements have succeeded where violent ones have failed, often achieving lasting change that endures long after the struggle has ended. Finally, the power of nonviolence lies in its capacity to create a more just and peaceful world. Unlike violence, which often leaves behind a legacy of bitterness, division, and further conflict, nonviolence seeks to build a foundation for lasting peace. It addresses the root causes of injustice rather than merely treating the symptoms, and aims to create a society where all people can live in dignity and security. Through nonviolence, we can envision a world where conflicts are resolved through dialogue, mutual understanding, and respect for the inherent worth of every human being. Leadership is more than a position of authority or a title. It is a calling, a profound responsibility that demands not just the ability to guide others, but the moral courage to stand for what is right, especially in the face of adversity. The call to leadership, particularly in the pursuit of peace and justice, is one that requires a deep commitment to principles, a willingness to make difficult decisions, and an unwavering dedication to the well-being of others. At the heart of this call is the recognition that true leadership is not about power or control, but about service. It is about putting the needs of the community above personal ambition and leading by example in a way that inspires others to follow. Leaders are those who are willing to step forward when others hesitate, to speak out when silence is easier, and to act when action is required, even at great personal cost. This kind of leadership is driven by a sense of purpose that transcends self-interest, rooted in a desire to create positive change in the world. The call to leadership in the context of peace building is particularly challenging, as it often involves navigating complex and deeply entrenched conflicts. It requires leaders to be both visionary and pragmatic, able to articulate a compelling vision of a better future while also understanding the practical steps needed to get there. This balance between idealism and realism is essential, as it allows leaders to inspire hope and confidence in their followers while also maintaining the credibility and trust necessary to bring about real change. One of the key aspects of this call to leadership is the need for moral integrity. In a world where the temptations of power and corruption are ever present, true leaders must remain steadfast in their commitment to ethical principles. This means making decisions that are guided not by expediency or popular opinion, but by a deep sense of right and wrong. It requires the courage to stand firm in the face of criticism or opposition, and to hold oneself accountable to the highest standards of honesty and fairness. Such integrity is the foundation upon which trust is built, and without it, leadership loses its legitimacy. Another critical component of the call to leadership is the ability to listen and empathize. Great leaders understand that they do not have all the answers, and that their strength lies in their ability to draw on the collective wisdom of the people they lead. This requires a willingness to listen to diverse perspectives, to engage in dialogue, and to build consensus around shared goals. It also involves the ability to empathize with the experiences and struggles of others, to see the world through their eyes, and to respond with compassion and understanding. This kind of empathetic leadership fosters a sense of inclusion and belonging, creating a community where all voices are heard and valued. The call to leadership also demands resilience and perseverance. The journey toward peace and justice is often fraught with obstacles, setbacks, and disappointments. Leaders must be able to weather these storms with grace and determination, maintaining their focus on the ultimate goal, even when the path is difficult. This resilience is not about ignoring or downplaying the challenges, but about finding the strength to continue moving forward despite them. It is the ability to rise after every fall, to learn from failure, and to inspire others to keep going even in the darkest of times. Moreover, the call to leadership involves the ability to inspire and mobilize others. True leaders have a unique capacity to articulate a vision that resonates with the hopes and aspirations of those they lead. They are able to communicate this vision in a way that motivates people to take action, to become actively involved in the pursuit of a common goal. This requires not only eloquence and charisma, but also a deep understanding of what drives and inspires people. Effective leaders know how to tap into the passions and energies of their followers, channeling them toward constructive and positive ends. Finally, the call to leadership in the pursuit of peace and justice is about the willingness to take risks. Leading in this context often means challenging the status quo, confronting powerful interests, and making unpopular decisions. It involves stepping into the unknown without the guarantee of success, and sometimes with the very real possibility of failure. But it is precisely this willingness to take risks that defines true leadership. It is the recognition that the pursuit of peace and justice is worth the challenges and uncertainties, and that the potential rewards of a more just and peaceful world are worth the personal and collective sacrifices required. In essence, the call to leadership is a call to serve, to inspire, to persevere, and to act with integrity and compassion. It is a call that demands much, but also offers the profound satisfaction of knowing that one is making a meaningful contribution to the betterment of humanity. The Legacy of Peacemakers is a testament to the enduring power of courage, compassion, and conviction in the face of adversity. These individuals, often working against overwhelming odds, have left an indelible mark on the world through their tireless efforts to promote harmony, justice, and understanding among people and nations. Their contributions transcend time, inspiring future generations to continue the pursuit of peace in their own lives and communities. Peacemakers leave behind a legacy not just of the absence of war, but of the presence of justice, equity, and human dignity. Their work often involves challenging the status quo, confronting deep-seated prejudices, and advocating for the marginalized and oppressed. This legacy is built on the principles of fairness and the belief that every person, regardless of their background or circumstances, deserves to live in a world free from violence and fear. The impact of their efforts can be seen in the dismantling of oppressive systems, the establishment of institutions that protect human rights, and the fostering of environments where dialogue and reconciliation can flourish. One of the most profound aspects of the Legacy of Peacemakers is their ability to change the course of history through nonviolent means. By rejecting violence and embracing peaceful resistance, they have demonstrated that lasting change can be achieved without resorting to bloodshed. This approach requires immense patience, perseverance, and faith in the power of truth and justice to prevail. The Legacy of Nonviolent Peacemakers serves as a powerful reminder that moral authority and ethical leadership can triumph over brute force and coercion. The legacy of peacemakers is also characterized by their ability to bring people together across divides of race, religion, nationality, and ideology. And they understand that peace is not simply the absence of conflict, but the presence of positive relationships built on mutual respect and understanding. Through their efforts to foster dialogue, promote reconciliation, and heal the wounds of division, they have helped to create more inclusive and cohesive societies. This legacy of unity is perhaps one of the most enduring contributions of peacemakers, as it lays the foundation for a world where diverse communities can coexist in harmony. In addition to their impact on society, peacemakers leave a personal legacy of moral integrity and ethical leadership. They are often individuals of great character, whose lives are guided by a deep commitment to the principles of justice, compassion, and humility. This personal integrity is a cornerstone of their effectiveness as leaders, as it engenders trust and respect among those they seek to influence. The legacy of their character serves as a model for others, encouraging future leaders to embrace these same values in their own pursuit of peace. Moreover, the legacy of peacemakers is preserved in the institutions and movements they inspire. Many peacemakers have played a crucial role in the founding of organizations dedicated to the promotion of peace, human rights, and social justice. These institutions carry forward their mission, continuing to advocate for the causes they champion long after they are gone. The movements they inspire often become a force for change in their own right, mobilizing people around the world to take action in support of peace and justice. The legacy of these institutions and movements is a testament to the lasting influence of peacemakers and their ability to effect change on a global scale. The educational contributions of peacemakers also form a significant part of their legacy. Through their writings, speeches, and teachings, they have provided a wealth of knowledge and insights that continue to inform and inspire those who seek to understand and promote peace. Their ideas and philosophies often become foundational texts in the study of peace and conflict resolution, shaping the thinking of scholars, activists, and leaders for generations to come. The legacy of their wisdom is a valuable resource for anyone committed to the pursuit of a more just and peaceful world. Peacemakers also leave a legacy of hope. In a world often beset by violence, conflict, and division, they remind us that peace is possible and that each of us has a role to play in its creation. Their lives and work offer a powerful counter-narrative to the forces of cynicism and despair, showing us that even in the darkest of times there is a path forward if we are willing to walk it. This legacy of hope is perhaps the most precious gift that peacemakers leave behind, as it inspires us to believe in the possibility of a better future and to work toward it with courage and determination. Finally, the legacy of peacemakers is reflected in the lives of those they touch. Whether through direct interaction or through the broader impact of their work, peacemakers influence countless individuals to think differently, act more compassionately, and commit themselves to the cause of peace. This ripple effect extends far beyond their immediate sphere of influence, reaching into the hearts and minds of people around the world. The legacy of peacemakers is thus a living one, carried forward by those who continue their work and strive to embody the principles they stood for. Hope is often seen as a beacon of light in times of darkness, a source of strength that sustains us through trials and tribulations. Yet, hope is not without its challenges. To hold on to hope, especially in the face of overwhelming adversity, requires a depth of courage, resilience, and determination that is not always easy to muster. The challenge of hope lies in its very nature. Hope is inherently forward-looking, demanding that we believe in the possibility of a better future even when the present circumstances suggest otherwise. The challenge of hope begins with the struggle to maintain it in the midst of despair. When faced with seemingly insurmountable obstacles, it is all too easy to succumb to hopelessness, to let go of the belief that things can and will get better. Hope, however, calls us to resist this temptation. It asks us to look beyond our immediate hardships and to trust that there is a purpose to our suffering, that our efforts and endurance will ultimately lead to a positive outcome. This is not a passive or naive hope, but a resilient one that persists even when the odds seem stacked against us. Another aspect of the challenge of hope is the need to balance it with realism. Hope without a grounding in reality can easily lead to disillusionment. It is important to recognize the difficulties and obstacles that lie ahead, to acknowledge the pain and suffering that may accompany our journey. Yet this recognition should not extinguish hope, but rather refine it, making it stronger and more resilient. The challenge is to maintain hope in a way that is both realistic and aspirational, to believe in the possibility of change while remaining fully aware of the effort required to achieve it. Hope also challenges us to take action. It is not enough to simply wish for a better future. Hope must be accompanied by a commitment to work towards that future. This action-oriented hope is demanding, as it requires us to step out of our comfort zones, to confront our fears, and to make sacrifices for the greater good. The challenge lies in turning our hopes into tangible efforts, in finding the courage to act even when the path is uncertain and the outcome is not guaranteed. This kind of hope is a driving force that propels us forward, motivating us to keep going even when progress is slow or setbacks occur. Furthermore, the challenge of hope is closely tied to the concept of patience. In a world that often demands immediate results, hope requires us to be patient, to understand that meaningful change takes time. This can be especially difficult when we are faced with urgent crises or when we see others suffering. The challenge is to remain hopeful even when the fruits of our labor are not immediately visible, to trust that the seeds we plant today will eventually grow, even if we do not live to see the harvest. Patience in this context is not about passivity or inaction, but about maintaining a steady and persistent effort over the long term. The challenge of hope also involves vulnerability. To hope is to open oneself up to the possibility of disappointment and loss. It requires a willingness to invest emotionally in a future that is not guaranteed, to care deeply about outcomes that may or may not come to pass. This vulnerability can be difficult to embrace, especially in a world where we are often encouraged to protect ourselves from pain and disappointment. Yet hope calls us to take that risk, to believe in the potential for good, even when it exposes us to the possibility of hurt. The challenge is to remain open-hearted and hopeful even in the face of setbacks, to allow ourselves to feel deeply without being overcome by despair. Moreover, the challenge of hope is communal as well as individual. While hope is often experienced on a personal level, it also plays a crucial role in uniting communities and movements. Shared hope can be a powerful force for collective action, bringing people together around a common vision for the future. However, fostering and sustaining this shared hope can be challenging, particularly in the face of division, cynicism, or apathy. The challenge is to create and nurture spaces where collective hope can thrive, where people can support one another in their shared aspirations and work together to overcome the obstacles that stand in their way. In addition, the challenge of hope often involves overcoming skepticism and cynicism. In a world where many have been disappointed by broken promises and unfulfilled dreams, it can be difficult to maintain hope. Skepticism and cynicism can creep in, leading to a sense of resignation or detachment. Hope, however, requires us to push back against these forces, to reclaim a sense of possibility even in the face of past disappointments. This is not about ignoring the reality of past failures, but about choosing to believe that the future can be different. The challenge is to keep hope alive in a way that is resilient to cynicism, to remain open to the possibility of change, even when past experiences have led to doubt. The challenge of hope is about enduring uncertainty. Hope, by its very nature, is about the future, about what might be, rather than what is. This means that hope always involves a degree of uncertainty, of not knowing how things will turn out. This uncertainty can be unsettling, especially for those who crave control or certainty. The challenge is to embrace this uncertainty as a part of the hopeful journey, to find peace in the not knowing while still holding on to the belief that positive change is possible. This requires a deep trust in the process of life, a willingness to let go of the need for immediate answers, and an openness to whatever the future may hold. In essence, the challenge of hope is about maintaining a vision for the future that is both realistic and optimistic, about taking action in the face of uncertainty, and about holding on to the belief in the possibility of a better world, even when that belief is tested by adversity. It is a challenge that requires resilience, patience, vulnerability, and a deep sense of purpose, but it is also one that can lead to profound personal and collective transformation. The concept of a divine mandate is deeply rooted in the belief that certain individuals, movements, or causes are guided and empowered by a higher power to fulfill a sacred purpose on earth. This idea carries with it a profound sense of responsibility and a recognition that the work one is called to do is not merely a personal or earthly endeavor, but a spiritual mission with eternal significance. The divine mandate is often seen as a call to action, compelling those who receive it to step forward with faith and determination, knowing that they are part of a greater plan that transcends human understanding. At the heart of the divine mandate is the belief that there is a moral and spiritual order to the universe, one that is overseen by a higher power who calls individuals to act in accordance with divine will. This mandate is not always easy to discern, and it may not always align with worldly ambitions or desires. Instead, it often requires a willingness to listen to the still, small voice within, to seek guidance through prayer, meditation, and reflection, and to be open to the promptings of the Spirit, even when they lead in unexpected or challenging directions. The divine mandate is often accompanied by a sense of purpose that is both deeply personal and universally relevant. Those who feel called by a divine mandate understand that their actions have the potential to impact not just their own lives, but the lives of others and even the course of history. This sense of purpose is what drives them to persevere in the face of adversity, to continue striving for justice, peace, and righteousness, even when the path is difficult and the obstacles seem insurmountable. The divine mandate provides a source of strength and inspiration, reminding those who carry it that they are never alone, but are supported and guided by a power greater than themselves. Another aspect of the divine mandate is the recognition that it often comes with a call to leadership. Those who are entrusted with a divine mandate are often called to lead others, to inspire and guide them toward a common goal or vision. This leadership is not about power or control, but about service and sacrifice. It requires humility, wisdom, and a deep sense of accountability to the higher power who has entrusted the mandate. Leaders who operate under a divine mandate understand that their authority is not their own, but is derived from the higher power they serve, and that they are ultimately answerable to that power for their actions and decisions. The divine mandate also carries with it a call to justice and righteousness. Those who are guided by a divine mandate are often called to stand against injustice, to speak out on behalf of the marginalized and oppressed, and to work toward the establishment of a more just and equitable world. This work is often difficult and fraught with challenges, but those who are guided by a divine mandate are sustained by the belief that they are fulfilling a sacred duty. They understand that their work is not just about changing the world in the here and now, but about participating in the unfolding of a divine plan that seeks to bring about the ultimate reconciliation and restoration of all things. Moreover, the divine mandate often involves a call to sacrifice. Those who are called by a higher power to fulfill a divine mandate are often required to give up personal comforts, ambitions, and even their own lives in the pursuit of a greater good. This sacrifice is not taken lightly, but is embraced as a necessary part of fulfilling the sacred duty they have been entrusted with. The willingness to sacrifice is a testament to the depth of their commitment to the divine mandate and to the higher power they serve. It is a recognition that the fulfillment of the divine mandate is worth any cost, because it is not just about achieving earthly success, but about aligning one's life with the eternal purposes of the higher power. The divine mandate also challenges those who receive it to live lives of integrity and moral courage. Because they are acting on behalf of a higher power, those who carry a divine mandate are called to the highest standards of conduct. They must be honest, fair, and just in all their dealings, and must strive to live lives that reflect the values and principles of the higher power they serve. This moral integrity is essential, because it is the foundation of the trust and credibility that is necessary for them to lead and inspire others. Without it, their efforts to fulfill the divine mandate would be undermined, and their mission would be compromised. Another important aspect of the divine mandate is the understanding that it is not always recognized or accepted by others. Those who are called to fulfill a divine mandate may face opposition, skepticism, and even persecution from those who do not share their beliefs or understand their mission. This opposition can be a source of great pain and difficulty, but those who carry a divine mandate are called to persevere in the face of such challenges. They are sustained by the knowledge that their work is not in vain, and that they are fulfilling a higher purpose that transcends human approval or understanding. The divine mandate also calls for a deep sense of trust in the higher power who has given the mandate. Those who are guided by a divine mandate must trust that they are being led in the right direction, even when the path is unclear or difficult. This trust is not always easy to maintain, especially when faced with obstacles or setbacks, but it is essential for fulfilling the divine mandate. It requires a surrender of personal control and a willingness to follow the guidance of the higher power, even when it leads into unknown, uncomfortable territory. This trust is a testament to the depth of their faith and their commitment to the divine mandate. In addition, the divine mandate often comes with a call to compassion and love. Those who are entrusted with a divine mandate are called to care for others, to show kindness and compassion to those in need, and to act in love in all their interactions. This love is not just a feeling, but a choice and a commitment to seek the well-being of others, even at great personal cost. It is a reflection of the love of the higher power who has given the mandate, and it is through this love that they are able to fulfill their mission and make a positive impact on the world. The divine mandate is a call to hope. Those who are guided by a divine mandate are called to be bearers of hope in a world that is often filled with despair and darkness. They are called to believe in the possibility of a better future, even when the present seems bleak, and to inspire others to share in that hope. This hope is not just a wish or a dream, but a deep and abiding trust in the higher power who is working to bring about the fulfillment of the divine mandate. It is a hope that sustains them through the challenges and difficulties they face, and that gives them the strength to continue on their journey, knowing that they are part of a greater plan that will ultimately lead to the realization of a just and peaceful world.